around here, so.
Is this okay?
That's one kind of advantage of the whole online thing. Always the market.
Friday the 28th. That's the day we have.
Yeah. I still have the marketing too.
Yeah, just be able to come in and work on it.
I actually spent the effort of sending the bridge a couple of those. So, the final grade. Because this week, just like anything I've done, like proposals.
I'll look into it.
Finally wrote that one.
Do you want me to take photos of this, like with my iPhone?
Sure.
Like, it's not gonna be fancy.
That's fine.
Or on your chair and take it.
That's fine. Yep.
You want to eat first, or? Okay. So we, yeah. Oh, the microphone. Very good. Okay, we do have a live stream since our guest list was limited. So in case anybody's sitting on there waiting, we should try to stick to our schedule. So. So I'd like to welcome everyone here today. Thank you for coming. It's great to see so many people in one place. I was overwhelmed for a moment. I don't think I've been anywhere that I've seen this many people I know in quite a while. So of course we're all here to honor Ken and his academic career as he now winds down his career and approaches retirement. So I thought we would just go through some of the highlights of his career. Ken graduated with his PhD in applied mathematics from the University of Waterloo in 1986. That was followed by a NATO Science Fellowship in Nottingham, England, and a postdoctoral fellowship at, sorry, the lights are, at Drexel University in Philadelphia. Ken joined the Department of Mathematics and Computer Science at UPEI in 1991 and quickly demonstrated his excellence in this new position, winning the UPEI Award for Excellence in Teaching in 1993 and the UPEI Award for Excellence in Scholarly Activity in 1994. Ken was promoted in 1994 as well to assistant professor, and of course his excellence continued throughout his career. He maintained an active research program throughout all the years with over 50 publications, was promoted to full professor in 2001, and of course has taught thousands and thousands of students. There also is a long list of service contributions. Of course, Ken was chair of the mathematics and I guess at that time the computer science department in 1997 through 2000. Has had many positions both within the department and school, including chair of the program committee on various DRCs, hiring committees, organizing our math camp. University-wide, he's been a member of Senate and served on various Senate committees. He's also worked in various capacities for the Faculty Association, including being a grievance officer. And it was kind of interesting kind of going through all of Ken's contribution, because it's a bit of a trip down memory lane, or you could say looking how UPEI has changed over the years, because you would see things like steering committee for investigating internship study, which I assume led up to the co-op program, and committee to investigate a 3 and 2 teaching load. So, you know, so you can see how much UPEI has changed over the 30 years. I was also reminded when I was looking at when Ken was chair of the department that he was chair the year I was hired. So when I came for my interview, Ken was the first person that I met, because he picked me up at the airport and took me on the astoundingly short drive into Charlottetown. Ken can, I'm sure, attest to all the changes that have happened over the years. In closing, I'd just like to say that in the past couple of weeks, I've been part of a number of interviews, and one of the questions that prospective faculty members have been given in this process is they've been asked, in the future, what would you like your professional legacy to be? And Ken, I would say to you that you've been a valued colleague, an outstanding researcher, and an inspiring teacher, and that's a professional legacy you should be very proud of. All right, congratulations. All right, so I guess I'd open the floor to anyone, if anyone wants to say some remarks.
Start things off. I'm Stephen Howard, if anyone doesn't know me. I'm retired as a couple of years ago. One thing I would like to say about Ken is, I mean, I'm in computer science and was chair a few times and that kind of thing, but Ken was always a tremendous supporter of computer science. Even back in the day when we were, you know, separate in many ways and so on. Of course, things have united over the last few years and so on, but I always both respected Ken's contribution and felt that his support for computer science was genuine. He had good ideas. He was, you know, I worked on a number of committees, of course, with Ken over the years and so on. He was, I loved having him on a committee. Ken does his homework. He comes with good ideas. He comes prepared. And like I say, I always felt that he was, you know, just a solid performer in terms of, you know, supporting us, supporting computer science, and truly had the best interest of our departments, our school, certainly our students in mind. So Ken, I think you're, you know, a rock solid part of the foundation of what we see has come to fruition here, and I congratulate you on your retirement and wish you all the best. Thanks.
So, I guess many of you know me. I'm Justin, but, well, there isn't anyone here who doesn't, so I'll just say that's it. I've worked with Ken for 18 years now as a colleague, but before that, some of you may not know, I was a student here, and I took a few courses from Ken, and in a lot of a good portion of my teaching technique today is a result of thinking back to a lot of my courses, and Ken was a big influencer in that. So he was a very good teacher, and well, I'll miss you, Ken. I don't normally say I miss anybody, but I will miss you, Ken. So I don't know, I guess you're into a lot of, I don't know if you're going to continue your research of, what are you into, greens functions, tiling problems. So you live just behind me, a couple minutes walk away, so come on over, we'll have some drinks, and we can party it up with some greens functions. And then you can tile my basement for me. All right, I'll miss you, Ken.
I guess I'm stealing your spot. Good day, folks, and to those at the stream at home, hi. I'm Chris. I'm the guy behind the console, so there's nobody there right now, so hopefully everything's working. Just want to say how much it has been a pleasure to work with Ken. When I first started working for the then department, Ken was chair, and I went through my first employment review with him. And I remember he gave me my review sheet, and it was all excellent, 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 very good, excellent, excellent, excellent. The very good was on dress and appearance. So I said, well, Ken, you know, at the time I actually started wearing a suit. It was Dave LeBlanc that told me, dude, the interview's over. You don't have to wear a suit anymore. Ken said, well, yeah. I said, what do I need to change? He said, nothing. It's just they won't believe it if it's all excellent. So that was a very kind thing to say. I've known Ken for a very long time. I knew him when he first came here because I used to work with IT systems and services. I was a technician, and I helped set things up. I would come over and fix computers. So I knew him in those days. I was a student employee way back, so the honored retirees sitting over here at the side, I know them very well. They were all my professors, and it was very cool. But I didn't get to take any of Ken's courses, but I got to know Ken. Ken has, how do I phrase this? He is well loved by his students. His students really like his instruction. They've said this to me. They've said, he's a really good instructor. Very, very thorough. Excellent notes. Great at the board. So lots and lots of praise. And sometimes instructors don't hear that. I'm also the staff guy, so I hear things that other people don't hear. And I wanted Ken to know how much his students appreciated all of the effort he put in, particularly in those introductory calculus courses, first and second year, where those are the foundations. If you don't have those skills, you're not going to go anywhere. So Ken's been very instrumental in everything that we have done. And as has been mentioned before, always supportive. So I'm proud to have known Ken. I will miss him when he finally decides to go wherever he's going, and I wish him all the best.
Hi, I'll try to be short and sweet. I don't get to use that joke anymore, so for a few of you, I'm Lowell Sweet, the old retired guy, and I wanted to go way back to 1991 and tell you a little story that I've never told anyone, I don't think. 1991, we had a position open in the math department, a huge stack, and back in those days, you read them all. And that took a lot of time, but the object was to pick out our top 3 choices. And I remember very well, Ken, from 1991, picking out my top 3 choices. And when it came my turn, we went around the table, it came my turn, and I said, well, I had a little problem with number 2 and number 3, because there really isn't much difference, but here's my number 2, and here's my number 3. But, I didn't have any trouble with number 1. Number 1 for me was obvious because there was one application that was clearly superior to all the others. It looked like potential for wonderful, outstanding scholarship, publications, research, but also at the same time great potential for teaching. And that number 1 was Ken Sulston. And I remember exactly what I said. I said was, let's move quickly because this guy is going to be offered position very quickly. I also said we will be very lucky if we attract him to UPEI. We were lucky. You did not disappoint, Ken. I wish you all the best.
I don't have a humorous anecdote about Ken, but he's one of the funniest guys in the department. Like, his dry sense of humor, deadpan delivered. You know, I was always smirking at meetings when Ken would crack something and no one else would get the joke. I did want to mention, you know, everyone's talked about how great a teacher Ken is and great researcher, and it's true, I never heard a bad word from any student about him. But I want to mention what a great colleague he was. I always was happy when Ken was on the same committee as me because you knew he would do the work. He would cut through the bullshit and get things done. And when you're on a committee, you really appreciate that. So we're going to miss you, Ken, for lots of reasons, but that's probably the biggest for me.
Read a message here that we received from Ken's sister and his brother-in-law that she asked us to pass along this afternoon, so I'll read the remarks. It says, "Good afternoon, Dr. Sulston. I don't think I've ever said that before, and guests. I wish we were able to attend and be with you in person. To walk in and surprise you, Ken, was on my wish list. Congratulations on your retirement. You have spent many years sharing your knowledge and time with students and coworkers alike. Now it's time to sit back and relax, or not. I'm sure you will be able to fill your days with what to do rather than must do. Want to do rather than must do. Beaches need to be enjoyed, roads need to be driven, especially in a new vehicle. Trails need to be biked, and the world needs to be explored, and not just on the weekend. Hopefully we will be able to share in some of that later this year, fingers crossed. Enjoy today as your friends get together to celebrate with you, in person or virtually. Enjoy the last few days of your old life and look forward to your new life. Welcome to the retirement world. Love you, Ken. We are so proud of you. Terry and Karen." Since we do have a live stream going, I guess we'll keep the content going. So Ken, on behalf of colleagues at the School of Mathematical and Computational Sciences, we would like to present you.
And we can't go take this off.
Oh yeah, there we go. There it is. So I don't know if you want to open that for the crowd or. There's scissors here.
Oh.
Sherry was prepared.
Carefully.
Shape on here.
Guys did a good wrap job.
You used about a few minutes of our time anyway. There's one layer gone, only 14 more.
Don't forget the duct tape later.
Something to remember is why. Give me the floor.
For those who don't know what this is a cast building where I spent most of the years of my career here, other than the first 6 years over in Memorial Hall before moving to the cast building. So I grew away away from PEI, here's a little piece that I can take with you. I don't have any prepared remarks, but I'll just say a few things off the cuff anyway. I'd like to thank everybody for showing up and for people tuning in via live stream. Thanks very much for Chris to organize the live stream and all the work you did in putting this together. Very memorable afternoon. Thanks to everybody for coming out. It's nice to see retirees whose club I guess I'm joining. Are you so the president of the Retirees Association, Wayne? Yeah, that's right. So it takes me all the way back to 1991 when I first came here. One memory is when I had my my interview and the original lunch that was taken out. I went with Lowell and Harry Love and Ivan Dowling, both sadly passed away now. And we just had a nice lunch over, what was the name of that place? Over where Indigo used to be. Indigo is now. Yeah. Yeah, there's a little restaurant over there we went to work for. Gentleman Jim's? Yeah, that's probably it. Anyway, so I went over to that restaurant and I just thought, we had the nicest little lunch. I just thought, what a nice group of people. I'd be so lucky to be able to work here. And I was. And had so many more, a couple of our former students, Justin and Mike, now working here. Another former student, Keegan, maybe he'll end up working here as well. There's an open position, I think. But thank you all very much for coming, and I appreciate you all. I miss all the people, the committee work. Despite what Gordon said, I'm not going to miss that. So thank you all very much.
Yeah, unfortunately, we couldn't do a guest book on the day because of COVID rules and that. But
well wishes from everybody. Thank you all very much.
wrap it up for the live stream. Should we wrap? Okay. All right. Not used to having that. Yeah. So I guess if, after the live stream continues or finishes up, if people want to have remarks, you feel free at any point. But I guess for the live stream, we'll say that we've concluded the formal portion of our presentation. But of course, there's food coming around, drinks available at the bar there. So everyone have a great afternoon and enjoy this rare outing. Thanks very much, and congratulations again.
Okay, hopefully, am I speaking loud enough into the mic? Okay. So I'm Keegan. Mask off, okay. I'm Keegan. I'm just so used to having it on these days. So I was a student here in the department from 2012 to 2016, and throughout my time here, I think I took more courses with Dr. Sulston than anybody else in the department. And so my the very first time I met Dr. Sulston, I was running late for class because I'm not very punctual, and it was this big multivariable calculus course, so it was a packed lecture hall in the chemistry building, and I had a friend who was talking me up at the front of the room, Vuk. I'm not sure if you remember Vuk or not, but anyway, so I get into the lecture hall late, and he stops his lecture and looks at me and tells me, "You better impress me." So you can imagine me coming into the lecture hall, first time I've ever met the guy, and that's what he says. Now, of course, we've already heard about how good his teaching was, and I always found it remarkable how it was like clockwork. He would show up to class and he would know what he wanted to teach, and he'd start right on the dot and he'd end right on the dot and he'd finish it all, and it was lucid and it flowed so well. And now, having taught my own multivariable calculus course, I can really appreciate how incredible of a skill that is, because it's not easy to do. And I guess another side of the teaching that really hasn't been touched on is kind of the caring for his students. So when I was in my third year, I was taking a course in what was it, dynamical systems, I think, with Dr. Sulston. And at that time, I was going through a pretty bad bout of depression. So I was, missing a lot of classes. And every time I would show up to class, every probably weeks-long gaps in between the times I'd show up, but every time I'd show up, you'd have a nice little package of all the booklets and handouts that I'd missed in class. And that wasn't something that he had to do, and it was something that meant a lot to me. So anyway, thank you, Dr. Sulston.
Okay, so we'll make a last call for the microphone before we stop the live stream. If anybody else wants to say something, and Kenneth's family from here, now is the time.